Very good. Representative Paulsen, you had some additional questions.
Yeah, I just have an additional question. Mr. DeBay, in your testimony, you kind of highlighted the potential problem almost of success in your job. I think you mentioned, essentially it's this: if you do your job well and veterans find employment, agencies like yours are likely to receive less funding. And some of this is natural, right? Because fewer unemployed veterans should require fewer services. Yet this is a good outcome that would seem to result in punishment through less funding potentially. So have you given a little bit of thought to how you balance that type of difficulty? And are there reward structures that should be put in place, for instance, that might be worth considering as resources are scaled back? Maybe you want to touch on Mr. Mitchell or Mr. DeBay.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. The way the funding formula works, I mean, it's a long, complicated, drawn-out paragraph that basically, if you succeed and you help a lot of veterans, exactly like you said, find employment, the funding is based on those veterans looking for work that are compared to other states. So, yes, the better you do, the less funding potentially you could receive, and the worse you do, potentially you could receive more funding. There's also 1% of our grant that is geared towards performance. And regardless of if a state is successful or not, they receive that 1%. So I just think discussions need to be talked about to how do we leverage that 1%? How do we do this funding formula where that also has a performance element? The fact that you're doing a good job should mean that you shouldn't be penalized by receiving less funding. But I think it can get very long, can get very complicated. But I think discussions need to be made on that formula and what should it look like.
Good.